Am I starting?
Well, we'll start as soon as all that stuff leaves. Yep, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Louise Amelia Phelps,
And I'm Lady Colleen Heller.
and this is day 3 of Winter Solstice beginner's ceremony that we're offering out at this time, in time for you to do on Monday.
Depending on, I think it's around the world. It's Monday this year.
Hmm.
So what would you like to go over, Lou?
Today, we went over yesterday what we were going to go through, and today we're going to go through again what you need to create the ceremony and go through the movement on how you will be using it and what you'll be doing. So we can start with the needs list. What you need, yesterday we talked about a chair and having enough sheets, white cloths, sheets, whatever you have at home to cover that chair and the space around it, enough that you can build a 5-pointed star out of seasonal greens, like ivy, pine. There's many bits around at the moment, or what you can gather from your area. And then each point of that star there'll be 5 points, and they'll each have a tea light protected in a jar, lantern, or whatever you have that is protected and will be safe to contain that flame. There'll be candles in all the points, and you can put them around the room as well at different levels. So kind of on chairs or different surfaces. So you are surrounded by light, because all the electrics will be off and unplugged, so nothing interferes with what you're doing. Fresh pine, you'll need to save a bit to burn as incense. You can light it a fresh piece up a little bit, and make sure you have something underneath to catch the bits that will drop, as it does drop. Or if you have charcoal, then that's set up, you can use that. Yule log as well, there'll be an area for the Yule log with 5 candles on top of it. Birthday candles work best from the years of trial and error and different waxy situations that evolve, but birthday candles, and you can just light the end and stick them on really easily, and they go on any surface or shape. And that's all the needs. Oh, if you wear white yourself, and you can have white socks on your feet if you want, or barefoot, but no shoes on for this.
If you don't have white, any of the lightest colors you have would serve you best.
And that's all for the needs.
So make sure you're hydrated. Please drink water. This is not an alcohol time. Out after you can have alcohol, but before, try to stay hydrated. Alcohol will dry you out. So try not to do that until after. But if you do, make sure you drink a lot of water before you start, so that you can actually experience the etheric value of this particular ceremony. This ceremony is created for solo practitioners or ceremonialists or group. It can be adjusted to whatever. It's simplistic in basics, but it's filled with vibration. So that is why we're giving it out now. The Ancient Wheel of Wisdom is set up into 3 categories. We are only explaining things from a very beginner status category, but the perception is a little different. So you might be interested in understanding that a little bit, how we function with our festivals and why we do certain things. So I'm going to tell you about the movement, which is a beginning, a middle, and an end. Like Louise has said, you'll set up your space with the things that she's spoken of. The first thing you want to do is put the chair in the center of the room or whatever the space is and cover it. Make sure when you do that, that you have enough white around so your feet are not standing on or leaning on greens. Then you want to make your star, your 5-pointed star around that chair, and make sure that you have the points pretty obvious, because in each point there will be the candle, whatever candle holder you have it in, and safe. And also you were going to light them before you actually start. So at this point, if you're using a tea light, they last about 3 hours. So you can go ahead and light them right then as you put them down. Everywhere around the room where you want to put other candles, that's perfectly fine. Like Louise has mentioned, you want to be on layers and levels. Don't particularly stay on just on the floor, but a table that's covered, things that are hidden will be in the darkness, let's say. But all your electrics will be unplugged. So if you have a light on the television or you have a light on a recorder, all those will be dark. So you can put lights around anywhere you would like and as many as you like. Just make sure they're protected because accidents happen. Then you'll go around the entire space and you will use the pine. Pine, you can light it directly to itself. It has enough oil in it. It does sparkle and spit. You want to have something underneath it so that anything that's falling falls into a safe container and not onto your floor or onto another green or onto anything, and especially not you. After you've done that, lit it, you can just go around the whole space, the whole outside of it, and just let that go. You don't have to think of anything. You don't have to be doing anything special. The plant will take care of all that for you. Pine is one of the few plants and trees that we use that has an etheric value in it. So feel free to light it and use it as much as you want as you set up. Just go around one time, all the area one time, and then just put it to the side. I like to leave it over by the Yule log because first off, I love the smell. And second off, there's a kinship that's going to be happening between lighting the candles and the pine. So I like to leave mine over there. When you go to the star, where the front of the chair is, that's your entrance. You'll bow in, saying your name out loud. I'll say, Lady Colleen Heller, I'm bowing slightly, and I step carefully over to the chair, turn around and sit in the chair. You want to practice this before you start so you don't get in there and fumble. It's just better if you just do it once if you haven't done it before, so you can see if you have to adjust anything, if you have to pull anything back. You're not creating and then recreating while you're in the space. So go once. And I would say if you're going to do it around to check it out how it is, do that before you go around with the incense. So let's say once the incense is done, the stage is set. So practice beforehand, but not after. This will also save you from being focused. You need to stay focused on what you're doing. So you go in, bow, go in, you step over, you sit in the chair. And while you're in the chair, you are then going to announce out loud to nobody, if no one's with you, or to somebody, if somebody's with you, who has been your teacher or your supporter, or somebody that has maybe done something unexpected for you that changed your course, enhancing your course. It can be somebody you met on the street that said some words and they had no idea that they were going to impress you in a certain way, but you don't forget that. Remember the other day this happened, and that has stuck with me. So that is what a teacher is, not necessarily just someone that you learn from 24/7 or whatever 7. So you want to say what you're thankful and grateful for, and you can choose as many as you like if you're sitting there by yourself, but if you're in a group, it's 3 usually. If you're in a large group, it's 1, because everyone has to sit in the chair, and that doesn't end with it. Once you're done speaking aloud who you're thankful for, then you let people know that you're done, and someone then comes and stands before you and they tell you every nice thing they can think of about you. Every single nice thing they can think of about you. And you have to hear that. So you have to stay focused. Listen to what they're saying. It's not easy. We're really okay with listening to things that aren't good, but we aren't really good about listening to things that are good. So really listen. Funnily enough, some changes have happened in my life based on those ceremonies over the years. So just be conscious of what's happening around you. If you don't have anybody there and you're there by yourself, it's not a problem. From tomorrow or from whenever you hear this, call around to some people and ask them, tell me what's my best characteristic. Ask people, ask friends, ask your kids, ask your partners, just what's a good characteristic of myself. And then take a minute and think about what it is that you like about yourself. Whether it's through conflict, you can find peace, or you're calm in controversy, or you can confront and not be offensive. listen, we're filled with all kinds of great things. We just don't usually call them out. So you will then write those down on paper, and that will be with you at this time. So ideally, if you're by yourself as a solo, you make sure that paper is on that chair when you go up to sit, so you can pull it out and read from it when it's time after you give thanks and gratefulness. Okay? Everyone gets a chance to go around and say nice things about you. And when everyone has gone and you're done, you on the chair rise and you turn around, so you're going back out the way you came in. When you back away from your area and you step out of the green, and you're back outside of the circle of winter solstice, you bow again, you say your name, my lady Colleen Heller, thank you, and I back away, and the next person goes. If there's no one else there, sit down for a minute and just get to the level of the chair and the greens and the candles, and just let the energy that is there swirl around you. Just take a moment and just be still in it. Look at the firelight, look at the greens, smell what's happening, feel what's happening around you. What's your sensation? How you sense this will then bring thoughts. You can journal here if you want, or you can wait and journal later. It's up to you. But this is a time of deeper look and sometimes some fun. So it depends on what the ethers bring you, but this is not a time to rush. After you finish this, then you'll stand and you will go over to the Yule log, which has already been prepared. So your little lights, candles will be there. And again, birthday candles are the best, really, truly, because these candles have to burn to conclusion. They don't just nothing gets blown out anyway, but you would not blow these out. You would not put them out. You don't dip them out. You just let them conclude. So birthday cake candles are quick, which is fine, doesn't matter, because the wax is going to go all over that log or branch, whichever you're choosing to use. And that will eventually be put into a fire either that night, another night outside when there's another event happening. I know I had a log for like almost 8 months and finally got to burn it. Don't worry about that part. What's happening is in the etheric and vibrational energy of the candles being lit and the wishes you will give. When they conclude out, all of that is already lifted up for you. The burning of it is the burning of what's left, let's say. So why don't you tell them about the candles and the wishes, Lou?
Yeah, so if you're on your own, then you'll be lighting each candle, and you can think of a wish that you see what comes to you in the moment and what words. But if you keep it simple, like joy, happiness, healing, like words like that, that for yourself and also for the earth and the people on her. But see what words come to you, but positive words that you would envision the year to come being filled with.
The important thing about the wishes is it's a wish. It's not a hope. It's not a faith. It's not a belief. It's a wish. So keep it in the category of wish, without all the other intrusive mindsets put on it. When you have faith and that'll get better, I believe that none of that really is what this is about. This is the wish or the call to. I'm calling out for this to be possible. So it's not just about you. You are joined with many, and using wish allows many others to be part of it. So they're participating with you, even if you feel like you're alone. And honestly, you're not. One of the wishes I used one year that I think there was so much turmoil going on was that I wish that the opposing peoples would find a place to be quiet so they could be in the center of that chaos and just remember their stillness is there, and in stillness is the answer. That was my wish. So you can say whatever you want. There are 5 candles though, and they can be any color. Don't worry about that. And if it's you and you say, well, I don't have 5 wishes, well, then you can do wishing for other people. You can wish for your tree to grow stronger. You can wish for cleaner water. There's many things you can wish for. So don't make it just personal. If you want, you can go outside of the box or you can stay inside of it. It's up to you. Yeah. How long will it take? Usually, depending on if you're a solo or group, If people are coming you haven't seen in a while, and now with the pandemic and how your numbers are there and that side of the world, and on this side of the world, I'm in the USA, Louise is in the UK, we have different numbers floating around. So it depends on what you want to do or what you can do, but basically, most 2 or 3 people can get together. You don't really need anyone, but it's nice to have people around too. So it should take like an hour. If you have a lot of people, it won't take that long without. So the setup itself doesn't need to be broken down until you're completely done and you're totally set to do that. Can it stay up overnight until the next day? Yeah, sure, it can, but not the candles. All those candles have to be removed and moved somewhere safe until they conclude, whether that's outside, in a tub, in a sink, someplace where they can't catch anything. But even though they're in protected cans or containers, you still want to put them where there's water around so you can get to them. And the rest of it can stay, because once you pull that out, you're pulling off the top energy, which is the etheric energy, once you pull the light away. Okay. But anything else you want to say, Lou?
Yeah, just I think ladies mentioned already, but really take your time in the whole thing. It may be a new thing or the first one you've done, but don't rush it at all, and try and remember to let your senses be open to different feelings, sensations, feelings, or perceptions. Just be open to those awakening, some that you didn't know you had, or perceiving in different ways that you may not be used to, or even just sensing that something else is possible, and just really enjoy it and look around, because it can be remarkably beautiful what you can create on your own in the house. That's what
You can, if you can create it outside, that will be spectacular. If you have a space that allows you to do that and you're comfortable enough, you know, that having nature right with you and the stars overhead, or the ability to see them when the lights aren't so bright wherever you may be, that whole energetic on top of it is pretty extraordinary. But the best part about this particular ceremony is that it can be done inside easily. It doesn't have to be outside. Some of the other ones that we do, really, they should be outside. So this is a great time. Winter solstice time is a real time of expansion. Everyone thinks that it's cold, you can't get anything done. Oh no, when's it going to be? You know what? Instead of doing that, try the other way around. Try embracing it. You have the ability to reach beyond the norm because you have less physicality to do. So you're not doing, you're being. And in that state, you open up to all kinds of possibilities if you're quiet. So this is the quiet time, but it is also the starry time. A great time to be at the seaside with a fire burning in front of you, with a scarf around you, and cuddled up with your dog or your friends or whatever, or yourself, and just have that clean air hit you and the fire keep you warm, and the stars and the moon and whatever may be up about you. It's a great thing. It's not used enough. So feel free to take advantage of it in nature and through nature, and also in your home. You know, don't use so much electricity. Turn it off. You know, just some people don't use much anyway, but they also don't put candles on because I don't know why. So maybe you want to put something up that's a some little protective thing that you can have set up. There's a little pine around it, and light it up and spend a few minutes with it, or just go by it and you'll see it's lit and you'll remember that it's okay to breathe at this time of year. This is your time of year to recover. Anyway, happy winter solstice. I hope that everything works out well. Feel free to email at sacredlandwalking@gmail.com if you have any questions. If you have any concerns, please write anything down on under the comments, because we are checking it and we will answer right away. If you have any questions about anything that we're talking about, anything, feel free to just go ahead and do that, and one of us will get back to you quickly, because we know that this is new and we've just put it out, and it's possible that people will have questions. Okay. Lou?
Yeah, like we did. Many questions.
but they all get done in the end.
Yeah.
So thank you all for being part of these events, these chats. They were fun doing, and we have other events coming up in January where it's going to be live and online, so people can do both, and they'll be in Stroud. What are the dates again, Lou?
14th of January, we'll be talking about sacred land walking. And 28th of January, we'll be talking about the ancient wheel of wisdom, but more about the philosophy and going deeper in the different aspects of what we've touched on here. And it will be in person at the Goddess Temple in Stroud. So you can come along there and have a live chat like this, but you can be in the room with me in the UK, or you can be at home on Zoom.
Right. Okay, great. More of that information will come out in the next, well, after Winter Solstice. So things get too jammed up. We like to keep things according to the energetics. And Winter Solstice time now we're in, and we want to just stay focused for ourselves as well as you will. So we're going to post that next week sometime after. Probably after that or after Christmas, one or the other. Anyway, and Merry Christmas to those that celebrate Christmas. I hope that it's joy-filled and it's everything you hope. So we'll see you. Thank you so much. Bye, Lou.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.
Bye, everyone.